meditation is like a tool, like what you think, you focus, and when you focus, you put energy in and you grow it, right? Meditation is nothing but where do you give energy and how do you drain energy, right? Meditation that helps you grow something that you need to is healthy. The meditation that helps you to grow things you do not need, because this week meditation is really that part where you use things you need and you prune out things you do not need. So that's it. Every week we select a meditation theme as a recovery coach, and I'm going to share with you what I'm focusing on this week. That way you kind of understand. So understand what we need, do not need, and sincerity and courage to follow that decision. That's what this meditation is about. So the other way to say it is serenity prayer. God, give me the courage to accept the things I can, courage to change the things I need to, and wisdom to know the things. Acceptance is like, in spite of pain, you move on. Courage to change is like, whether I need surgery, whether I need pills, right? So that's the balance. So, but the pain is not equal to suffering. See, what you're doing is you're combining pain with suffering, right? Pain is a process. You understand the process, why the pain is, and do it separately. Mood is another process. You're, for some reason, associating pain and your mood is being affected. You're not able to maintain happiness. Correct. So we're going to see how can we separate that. That's where the acceptance comes in versus the courage to change it. Is there anything you can do to change this pain? You're taking the medication, you're going seeing the surgeon, and he's working with you for your arthritis. So that's being taken care of. The physical sickness is what is causing the pain, right? But the mental sickness is causing the suffering. So we need to snip it so that it's not connected. And I will tell you how I process pain. And you can,
Do you have chronic pain?
I have a gene that doesn't code environmental toxicity. So because of that, when I come across something, immediately I'll get weak, like my muscle, because I have thyroid problem, Hashimoto's, so it will activate, and then I'll immediately know energy-wise I feel weak, so my body wouldn't be in balance. So I don't go to the next level. So I'll stop, I'll detox myself, like I'll eliminate, I'll do liquid diet, so I backtrack until I reset, and then only. So I don't put any more thing in my body unless this is being processed. Because my gene wakes up faster, so it doesn't allow me. I mean, at least I get an awareness, okay, what I put in my body didn't work. So let me digest that. Because everything boils down to indigestion. Whether it's mentally I cannot digest this. So that's why I'm suffering. So I never let it go to the suffering level.
Meditation part too?
Meditation or sometimes. So I will share what I did, but like what I'm saying is, like we need to figure out for you what would work. So for me, the mental pain agonizes me. If I'm in, so what happens for me, I process physical pain separately. Physical pain.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Physical pain is easy to tolerate for me.
Yeah.
Mental pain is, I cannot move on. I would like give up everything. I'll go into a zombie and I wouldn't even move on.
What's the difference between physical and mental pain?
Okay, I'm going to share with you. Mental pain, for some reason, I need to validate that I'm in pain. Like I want people to say, yes, this is true. It's hard for you. And I mean, like really, like, if I put it into a nutshell, I'm going to tell you in a way that would make sense to Americans. Have you watched this movie where I think it is Sharon Stone who acted? Her father will be in military. Okay, this has no connection with what we are talking, but I'll tell you why it is important. And she gets raped by high-ranking military officials. Group gangs up,
Mhm. No,
and she will have a group committing the rape. She'll be in military. Her
right.
father is the chief,
No.
and I don't know which movie it is, but I'll try to figure it out there. But what happens is she'll go and tell her father, and these people who raped her are very, very favorite of him. Like they are like top ranking officials, and they are like his protege, so to speak.
Right.
So he doesn't want to acknowledge that it happened to her.
Mhm.
So he kind of will not entertain that complaint.
Wow, his own daughter. He doesn't want to believe it. He doesn't want
But that happens
to
in
admit
every
his
family. Do you
friends.
know the family that has molestation going on? The mother rejects it. The father even committed it. That's what creates the mental pain. And you know what she does? She will like take a revenge by sleeping with everybody in that military.
Right.
And in the end, the father will be agonizing. And she will share her thinking by saying, when people F with your brain, you F with them.
Mhm. So
And
that's mental.
that's what mental pain, because you need to be validated for that pain. And if you don't get validation, like, if by chance, even though that's physical, it's your core energy that's being hurt. Nobody cares. When you feel emotionally so isolated,
Mhm.
you do things to sabotage it. You get it so far behind, you cannot even unravel your body. So you're in a cocoon of this pain, because we need to go back and see when is the first day you let your body be tortured. See, there is a connection, if you understand, between mental suffering and physical agony. And if you separate it, you would never have to suffer like this, because you have an inner child in you, even acknowledged, and you are not accepting. Just like the father didn't accept the baby suffered, or his own daughter. There is a piece in you, a little boy who suffered. The father in you refuses to accept it. And that's why the inner child is acting out, saying, I need attention, I need attention, I need attention. And you've gone so far, you're struggling with it. So until you take a time to heal that mental pain, the physical pain is another way. Does it make sense to you?
A little bit.
Okay, the way it happened to me. For me, my father was always poor. He raised me as a poor man's daughter. When I eat, I feel so guilty, because I feel right now I can afford anything I want. Still, he's poor. He came to America every year. I paid up his debt. And then one day he woke up and said, I am not going to live way anymore. He got married to an Italian lady, and within 1 year, he collected $29,000 in debt. And I was shocked. And they tried to sue me. His wife tried to sue me, so I'll pay off his debt, because they felt that I owed it to them. But then afterwards, I had to process that, and I'm saying, why I'm so guilty about my father being in debt. My friends were saying, he comes across as very well put together. I asked my dad, I said, Dad, why did you raise me that I should be without debt? He says, that was never my suggestion to you. He says, I never told you to be without debt. That's your choice to follow that path. And he says, imagine me, I grew up in a town where my mom and dad couldn't even afford education. And his mom was so particular. She went and lied to my mother's family that he was a single son, and they didn't have any other children except one daughter, one son, one daughter, whereas they had three children, three boys, three girls, total six. And he had to raise his brothers and sisters. And she didn't want him not to marry the rich girl so they'll get the support. So she lied and got him married. And he always got handouts from my mother's side of the family, because when his debt grew too much, my uncle will reset his money. When his debt grew too much, my mom's father reset. When he didn't have a home, he was homeless. My my mother's grandfather's land was given to him so he can build.
Wow.
So he always lived off his mother's side of the family.
Obviously.
But when my mom died, he chose to come. The minute he landed in America, because I was already here, he gave me a big list of who all need to be paid off because he was in debt. I told him, I brought you to America so you can pay off your debt. I'll show you how to get a job, how to pay it off. And I did help him pay off his debt for like almost 10 years. And I finally figured out it's like my kids, I need to raise, I need to send them to college. His motive was never to be debt free.
Right.
He just wanted flexible time and have to have fun.
Well, it sounds that way. It was throughout his life.
Yes, that's his life is about. So one of the things, and he's turning 80 this year, and he will never ever call and wish me happy birthday, but he will always remind me when it's birthday what gift he wants.
That's strange.
But so what I'm saying is, so I had to process that. So imagine, like, suffering and pain.
Mm.
So one of the things I learned was I will never be rich man's daughter. I'll always be poor man's daughter.
Right.
And I make decision as a poor man's daughter. And my mom, he never allowed her to wear gold. Never. He'll pawn her gold. Even if I buy her a present, next day it will be in pawn shop. And so I decided my right hand will be poor man's daughters. Never I'll wear gold. My left hand, when I got married to my husband, I said, please don't get me gold. One of my goals is never to wear gold. Because what my mom couldn't afford, I'm making a choice not to have it in my life. I live a dollaritarian budget. Whatever for $1 I eat, and I'm super happy.
Right.
But my husband says the first Christmas he gave me gold bangles and he gave me gold and diamond ring for wedding. He said, Keith, I got married to you. So I didn't want to get gold. He says, I got married to you not to live your crappy lifestyle. He says, my wife, I'm going to treat her to luxury whether you like it or not. So I had to honor. No, it's not about affording. It's like my whole goal is about honoring people. So one of the things I decided is my left hand would be rich man's wife. And whereas my father also I have to honor. So I became the poor man's daughter's hand. And I don't wear gold. This I made the mold myself. And my dad doesn't believe in God. So good for a hug. And Christian faith is fish, right? It's a strand feeding dolphin. It flaps its tail. And the fish comes in, the dolphin opens its mouth, it's breakfast in bed. Then there's a Tibetan prayer. Oh, money put me home. Money means the pearl is created by the pain inside. And when the pain is processed, it becomes the pearl or an oyster, right? Then Padme, so which means money means infinite altruism with you, or a compassion. Keep wrapping it around until you become pure. And then Padme means the virtuous wisdom. Money is infinite altruism, compassion that has no expiry date. Padme is the wisdom and grace that allows you to see. The gravity makes the apple fall, whereas the grace of the apple tree made the apple released. So Padme is the grace and wisdom. The division is the illusion we carry that prevents us from being divisive and selfish actions from wisdom and grace. So if you separate that by having this curtain removed of illusion or matrix, you would see divisive and selfish is not the purpose we are here. To understand the wisdom and grace in us. So we are a combination of that. Hum is a synthesis of all this. By understanding that, we can think, feel, and speak our highest truth, which is pure, instead of being divisive and selfish and sarcastic and painful and stuff. So in Buddhism, they don't hear or say the prayer. They feel it and pass it as compassion. So when you wear it, just by waving your hand, you wave your compassion. And this is Muslim sign. Rabia, she said she was sold in Muslims. The girls are considered slaves. So when you have a pretty girl, if you put up like this, right hand is $420 they sell it for. She's pretty girl. Left hand is $90 she's worth because she's ugly, but she can do service more. Like she can wash your dishes and stuff. But both girls serve a purpose. So they
Yeah.
become a slave. So essentially, so Rabia was sold as a slave, and the master saw the truth in her and asked her whether she wants to work with him or release. She says, I would rather be released to serve God's purpose. And when they came and asked her, how was the slavery? She says, I have no time except love. So she says, I would rather not talk about anything else, and she ran away. She was a true messenger of God. And my foreman's daughter is my Hindu head.
Now
So
before,
it's Hindu, Muslim, atheist, Christianity, Buddhist. So my right hand is all religion. And in Hinduism, it's pure hand, pure heart. I service God through my action, right? Like it's like, let God be my hand and let me service others through my hand, right? So I serve, I'm here to serve, and I'm here to fulfill highest purpose. When I understood that, my suffering went away.
no, that's what I was going to ask you. Before you understood that, before you came to this, did you have resentment towards your father? Did
Yeah, I
you feel
hated
bad?
him.
That's what. Oh, I didn't want to use that word, but
Because of him, my mom died of poverty. My mom's hemoglobin was 4 is it 4 gram or milligram? I couldn't tell. She will go to the bathroom, she'll pass out because the amount of energy it took to poop will wipe her out. He kept her because he was so caught up in his own world. He worked for union. He'll come home only like in the middle of the night. And in India, they serve the men first. He will eat the best food in the home, and she will wait. And she only after he finishes, she will eat. He never saw the sacrifices she made. And after she died in 1997, the minute her fifth anniversary came, he went and married an Italian girl because he felt he's paid off all his debt to my mom. And I couldn't believe it.
I think
She
that's
gave
awful.
she died because of him. She was 50 when she died. She was
Holy
50 years, yeah. Because she died of malnutrition. She was so anemic. They gave her. She had no blood, like I told you.
Yeah.
So she was given blood transfusion for. She developed fulminant hepatitis C, and because of that, they have to give steroids. Her whole body became rotten. She had no bones. Her hip bones failed, knee bones failed. Her uterus fell out. So they had to take out her uterus. They replaced her hips. They replaced her knee.
She suffered.
She suffered, but she never said anything. She never ever talked about her pain. My dad believes he's paid her off. And
I think that's awful.
but
But
that's one way to look at it. But the way I understand,
No.
so this year
So
he's
now-
turning 80. So we are celebrating his birthday. I was thinking, how do I honor him? One of the things I learned from him is because he was a poor man, he always raised me with happiness. What he never had was happiness. He gave us flexible time, so he never doubted me. From younger age, he treated me with tremendous respect. When I told him I want to become a doctor, my mom's dream was to make me a doctor because she said the only ways we can get out of poverty is you becoming a doctor. I wanted to be a healer, but I wanted to honor her first. So I studied and I had a visual memory, so I could easily memorize everything. So I became a doctor for her sake. But even my first salary, she was not able to see because she died before I could get my first salary. It was karmically, she was not entitled to be rich. But whereas my dad showed me money is not equivalent to happiness or unhappiness, flexible time is. So by understanding that, I knew he did the best he could with his life. So by judging him, I am not seeing the glory in him. because he always made me believe I could do anything I want. When I wanted to come to America, he pledged his land. He became homeless. He gave me $100 bill and he says, "Go save yourself." So he did his sacrifice his own way, but I didn't see his point of view because I was so caught up with my vision
Right.
that I never saw the
What you
time
got?
he put in. He put his time in. That's the best he could do. And as a man who
And he
had
did
to
that.
raise his kids, see, his parents essentially lied, right? He raised, as a little boy, 19-year-old, his whole family. He put them through college. He raised them. He got what he needed to do done. So
He
by
was a good man.
yes, so what I'm saying is his
So
life
it's
was
like,
different than my life. So by using my standard to judge him, I would fail him. So when I saw him from his angle, he was pure soul filled with joy because he never ever complained. He always did what was right by us. He always stood by us. Whatever dream we had, he shouldered it. Even now, he'll take a bus to come see me from New Jersey. He passed out last time because he didn't have breakfast. He passed out in the bus. So he's still a poor man. So by understanding that, I could see he is doing what he needs to do,
mhm.
and I cannot judge him.
Right.
I have to just accept him where he's at, and he's a pure joy.
If on that part of it, he's a good man.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, by all this, you could see yes, my illusion was he was not doing what I need to do, and he told me, "I have no ability to be a doctor like you. I don't have the ability to make money." But I paid him 10 years. He couldn't take care of himself. So I understand. He told me, "Leave me alone. Let me be happy. You do your job, raising your kids and putting them through college." But he says, "Let's come together without guilt. Let's spend time together with honoring each other." And whenever he comes here, everything he spends is on me. And I'm happy with that. But I don't support him in New Jersey when he's living with his wife. Because that's his life. So by doing that, I eliminated suffering. Does it make sense to you?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is pain shouldn't be the mood. If you understand and separate that, you would be happy. And I hope this is the reason I'm sharing my life with you. Not because to teach you a lesson, but I can tell you the truth has multiple layers. In India, they say it has 9 layers, 9 layers of truth. And if you tuck in the first layer itself, you cannot, because the first layer is food filled body layer. Second layer is breathing filled body layer. Third layer is mental desires filled body layer. Fourth layer is intuition filled body layer. Fifth is the bliss layer, pure joy. Afterwards, sixth layer is hormone filled layer, like aggression and hormonal issue, environmental toxin and stuff that affects us. Like somebody is doing something wrong by others, we react. We have no control over, but we can be part of God's journey. And then seventh layer is pure sunshine, setting standards. That's why people, when redwood tree was hurt, they went and stood by it. So they hurt themselves and they sacrifice, like independence, right? We go to war for a country, which is not even like our layer. And the eighth layer is pure magic, like how in carpentry, like masters touch. Ninth layer is completion, where chaos, people destroy to get away some problem, like self-destruction, like bombing and all this stuff. There's the belief system. They believe drone, they're throwing it in one area, all because they feel bad energy is going away. But who's the cleanup? Us. Who's the destroyer? Us. So you can be part of destruction, you can be part of cleanup, but it doesn't matter. But all these 9 layers inside us. So if you understand, this is like the big picture.
Yeah.
But I wrote this book, this Meridian Medicine. It took me like
You wrote a book?
yes. This is my life journey. Meridian Medicine. It's called Nadi Vaidya. It's like ancient scriptures and everything. The purpose of our life. When I wrote this, I actually dedicated it This is the reason I was even born. I said, I feel my life purpose is fulfilled by just publishing this. 5/6/2007 is when the second publication came in. The first publication I did it when tsunami happened, 2004, because same deluge that took away all the ancient scriptures. Originally, remember when Noah's Ark and all came, these scriptures were lost. And my purpose was to find it again. I was told, subconsciously, that's why I told my mother I need to be a healer because I knew this was my life purpose.
I can buy that book.
You can buy, but it's a textbook. It is around $100 because it took me to write this book. It took me 14 years
I believe it.
because it is a lot of knowledge and online. Remember GeoCities, tripod and GeoCities were existent once upon a time.
What?
There was a website. Even internet came on. I started writing this book. It used to be called Tripod. It was maintained by Lycos. Yahoo bought it out. Now Yahoo is their search engine. So they took over my blog, and all my original is available free online because they kept this. They saw the truth in this book. They kept it alive. I was shocked.
Oh, really? See, I don't even have a computer.
So my blog is on the website called nadivaidyam.org. NADIVAI. Nadivaidyam.org is my textbook, but the free website is jinshinjutsu.tripod.com. But that's the blog. But many international people finally found it. And they wrote it on guestbook. But because it was owned by Tripod and sold it to Yahoo, I cannot even alter it anymore. I don't have access
You
to
don't
it.
have the rights to it, your own?
No, I don't have access to it because it was sold, but it was a free website. But people saw the truth in me and they were not able to take it down. And this is all free on Yahoo.
Oh, really?
But it's only thing is you need to find it.
Yeah.
But if you want, because the reason I kept it as a textbook is it is meant for people who value this teaching. Because money is nothing. And if you value, you will buy it. Because right now, I think it's sold for like around $89.99. Only reason is it's a completion. Remember, everything is numbers. So I want 89.99, which is a completion number. Because it's that level I'm selling it to. People who value that. Let's presume to value is everything. How do you value a lifetime? MasterCard is priceless, right? But whereas human life, if you think it is priced at $89.99, it's too much,
Right.
and it is worth my lifetime
Yes.
of knowledge.
Yes.
So because I put together the Western knowledge, Eastern knowledge, all my lifetime learning, past birth, future learning skills into that. And people who understand me will buy me. And I'm not worried about selling because this is for future I built.
Right.
Like 20 years from now, one person is going to take a look and have tears in their eyes. Oh my God, somebody did this for me.
Right.
So it'll come across people who it makes a difference. But what I'm saying is the gist of what I'm trying to tell you is suffering is optional, but pain is real. So you need to understand how to separate.
Yeah.
How to separate it is just when a thinking comes on suffering, you breathe. You breathe, take a deep breath, tuck your chin, go into your heart, and breathe it out. I don't need suffering anymore. Open your heart and let it go. And process where exactly this brain started and grow that little boy. That little boy is still lost inside. Does this make sense?
It does, but I think it's something that you have to
Yeah, take
work,
time.
Work.
You don't need to work.
Like a muscle. You gotta build it.
Yes.
Build it.
You need to. No, it's not about work. It's you need to create a home for that little boy. That boy is still lost inside. You need to bring him back to your heart. Have you seen that movie Shack? Shack. You need to build a garden for him in your heart. So build a home, build a shack inside your heart, and build all this beautiful garden around it so he can have rest. because right now he's still lost inside. But it's a process. You cannot do thinking brain. It has to be felt inside. Okay? I'm going to wrap up because that way